I have a no-brainer for you today. Do you want to achieve consistent peak performances both at training and games in order to maximize your training results and have a greater impact on game day? Recovery is one of the ways you can achieve that. But are you properly optimizing your recovery strategy? Let's find out. As a footballer, you're most probably straining your body and mind on a daily basis. Training, workouts, competitive games, and all sorts of physical and mental strain of life can be detrimental to your training and game day performance. Moreover, if basic recovery principles don't get applied, overtraining may become a major issue for you, and with it comes a drastically increased risk of injury. If you want to perform like an elite level footballer, you also have to recover like one. You have to let your body and mind switch off from the game and recover to allow yourself to adapt to all the training stimuli, but also to be able to achieve peak performance when it's game time. Without recovery, you simply don't allow your body to adapt to the high performance standards you have set at training. This is the concept of supercompensation, but let's leave that for another video. I like to split the recovery process into two parts: the fundamentals and the supplementary stuff that is vastly overrated. Let's kick this video off with the fundamentals, which should never be neglected on rest and recovery days and are high priority tasks. They are also the most effective and budget-friendly tasks you can use and optimize. We have three pillars that make up the fundamentals, with sleep being number one. Sleep is a biological need of your body that can influence various of its functions, either in a positive or negative way. We know that sleep deprivation is directly linked to impaired cognitive ability and a decreased ability of emotional management that mainly stems from the hormonal imbalances that sleep deprivation creates. It is recommended to aim for at least 7 to 9 hours of quality uninterrupted sleep each night. On the other hand, oversleeping can have counterproductive results, leading to lethargy and drowsiness. 30-minute power naps are considered a healthy addition for footballers that are struggling to get 8 hours of sleep each night. However, research is still inconclusive about napping and athletic performance. Now, in terms of sleeping quality, it is also suggested to follow an almost identical sleep-wake-up cycle every day. This basically means falling asleep and waking up at almost the same time each day in an attempt to keep your circadian rhythm unaffected. Your goal is to achieve a good amount of sleeping time in a deep sleeping stage. This is the primary determinant of whether you have had a high or low quality sleep. In order to achieve a longer duration in those deep sleeping stages, there are loads of things you can do, from minimizing caffeine intake 10 hours prior to bedtime to shutting off blue lights 1 to 2 hours before going to bed. I'll have an article and a video on sleep and football performance linked in the description below if you want to check that out in more detail. The second pillar of the basic recovery tools and strategies is nutrition. In regards to nutrition, you should understand that no matter how many different and fancy recovery tools you use, a malnourished body and mind simply won't be able to recover quick and effectively. Right after you complete a training session or match, make sure to restore the nutrients and fluids you've lost. This includes simple carbs, electrolytes, and of course water. Another really important macronutrient in terms of recovery is protein. Protein is the building block of muscle. Training stress leads to muscle fiber breakdown. Protein comes in and participates in the reconstruction process known as muscle protein synthesis. As a rule of thumb, you should aim to hit your daily protein intake goal on a consistent basis. Lastly, we have active recovery. What active recovery does in comparison to passive recovery is it is utilizing an increased blood flow to flush out all the waste products of your body and deliver nutrients and oxygen to your blood and muscle cells at a much faster rate, further speeding up the recovery process. This can be done in various ways. The most common active recovery strategies include light-paced cardio such as walking, jogging, biking, or swimming. Additionally, the athlete may even consider some form of active mobilization on top of the steady-state, low-intensity cardiovascular work. 15 to 30 minutes are more than enough to achieve the wanted benefits in terms of recovery. Some other forms of active recovery that also have psychological benefits attached to them due to their playful and competitive spirit include foot volley, rondos, and other mini games with the ball. The three pillars of recovery that we mentioned are the primary determinants of how successful and fast your recovery is going to be. There is no recovery tool that can replace those three, especially sleep and nutrition, which form the base of the recovery pyramid. However, there might be some players that want to invest more money into their recovery and potentially their rehab after an injury to achieve that extra level of speed and quality in their recovery. This can be done through additional recovery tools and methods which take up just a small percentage of the whole recovery process. They are not always budget friendly and definitely not a priority in your recovery checklist. Although additional recovery tools and methods aren't a must, players may consider them only if they are investing time and effort into the basics first. There are a ton of popular and effective recovery tools and methodologies available in the market. Some of them include foam rolling, contrast baths, sports massages, neuromuscular electrical stimulation, compression therapy, percussive therapy, cryotherapy chambers, and the list goes on. All of the tools and methods mentioned are proven to be effective, but if you view the bigger picture, you quickly realize that these are just secondary to sleep and nutrition. Taking care of the basic pillars of recovery first is the key to a faster, more effective recovery or return to play. Recovery unlocks training results, longevity, and peak performance. Do not neglect it if you're trying to reach the elite level or want to sustain a healthy body and mind. That's it for today's video, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your teammates and friends. I also strongly encourage you to check out the description box below, gain access to relevant content and more information on the topics we've discussed. Have a good one.